Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to A State of Grace Wellbeing podcast. I'm Grace, an energy alignment practitioner, and today I'd love to gently introduce you to something that has become such an important part of my work and my own life: our 7 energy centers. You may have heard them called chakras. Sometimes people think of chakras as something mystical or complicated, but I like to think of them as 7 conversations your body constantly is having with you. Each energy center represents a different area of your life, and when energy flows freely through them, we often experience greater ease, confidence, and clarity. And when one becomes depleted, blocked, or overactive, life begins to feel harder in a particular area. Today, I simply want to introduce each one and invite you to become curious. Not to fix anything, just to notice. Because awareness is always the first step toward alignment. Your vibration speaks before you do. Last week we spoke about vibration. Everything carries a vibration. Our thoughts, our emotions, our words. Even the way we walk into a room. The 7 energy centers are like tuning forks inside of us. And when they're resonating together, life tends to feel balanced. When one loses its rhythm, we often feel it long before we understand it. Let's begin at the very foundation. The root chakra, located at the base of the spine. This is your foundation. And it asks, do I feel safe? Do I belong? Can I trust life? And when this center is balanced, we feel grounded and steady. And when it isn't, anxiety, fear, financial worry, or feeling disconnected from life can appear. Sometimes we try to solve these feelings with our mind, but often the body is simply asking us to reconnect with the earth beneath our feet. The sacral chakra is located just below the navel. This is where creativity, pleasure, and emotion live. And it asks, can I feel? Can I receive joy? Can I create? And when energy flows here, we feel inspired, playful, and emotionally connected. And when it's depleted, life can feel flat. Creativity disappears, and relationships feel disconnected. Joy becomes something we remember rather than experience. The solar plexus chakra is located just above the navel, and this is our center of personal power. It asks, do I believe in myself? Can I make decisions? Can I trust my own wisdom? When balanced, we feel confident without needing to prove ourselves. When out of alignment, we may people please, overwork, or constantly seek approval. The heart chakra is the bridge between our physical world and our spiritual world. It asks, can I give and receive love? Not just romantic love, self-love, compassion, forgiveness, connection. When balanced, we feel open yet protected. We can set healthy boundaries without closing our hearts. The throat chakra. This is the voice of our authentic self. It asks, can I speak my truth? Many women I work with recognize this one immediately. Years of staying quiet, not wanting to upset anyone, holding emotions inside. When this center begins to open, something remarkable happens. We stop trying to become someone else. We simply become more ourselves. The third eye chakra, located between the eyebrows. This is your intuition, your insight, your inner wisdom. It asks, can I trust what I already know? Sometimes we spend so much time searching for answers outside ourselves that we forget how wise we actually are. Alignment here isn't about predicting the future. It's about learning to listen. The crown chakra, at the top of the head. This is our connection to something greater than ourselves. Whether you call it God, Source, Spirit, the universe, or simply life itself, it asks, can I surrender? Can I trust that I don't have to control everything? This center reminds us that we are part of something much, much bigger. And here's a gentle reminder. One of the biggest misconceptions about chakras is that there's a good one and a bad one. There isn't. They're simply communicating. Imagine the dashboard lights in your car. When one illuminates, it isn't trying to tell you off. It's offering information. Our energy centers do exactly the same thing. They're continually inviting us back into balance. As you've been listening today, did one center quietly capture your attention? Was there one that made you think? That's exactly where I am right now. Trust that. Our bodies are incredibly wise. Often, they already know where our attention is needed. And sometimes all we have to do is listen. Over the coming weeks, I'd love to spend some time exploring each of these energy centers individually, because each one holds such incredible wisdom. By understanding them has completely changed the way I work with women. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me? We begin by asking, what part of me is asking to be heard? And that small shift changes everything. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love you to share it with another woman who may be feeling a little disconnected from herself. Until next time, take a slow breath. Notice your energy. And remember, when your energy aligns with where you're going and who you're becoming, life begins to flow a little more gracefully. Bye for now.